disenfranchising women and rural voters with the SAVE Act that he wants to pass. It's all a shameless plan to return America to single-party control by a Republican Party who, unable to win on any sort of policy merits, turns to an old racist playbook that restricts the power of Black, brown, and working-class voters and goes after any political foes just to hold on to power. That's what's happening. For decades, the Southern Poverty Law Center has sued and won jury verdicts against hate groups who conspire and facilitate violence against Black and brown people. The center secured a verdict against the planners of the 2017 Charlottesville rally, the same rally that drew participants whom Donald Trump called very fine people on both sides. And yes, I know what he said after that to try and defend it, but the entire rally was organized by white nationalists. And even after images and videos revealed that these participants put up their arms in Nazi salutes and violently injured counter-protesters and cheered on the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, he stuck by that. SPLC has been winning. That's why Donald Trump wants to target them. That's the problem. Stephen Miller.
Subscribe, God bless you. Welcome back, fellow patriots. This is America Truth Channel, where we expose the radical left's smear tactics, defend free speech, and fight for America First truth every single day. Today, we're reacting to a disturbing moment from the House Judiciary Committee where radical Democrat Representative Pramila Jayapal from Washington is desperately defending the controversial Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC. Jayapal brings in Maya Wiley, a far-left activist, and basically puts her on stage to whitewash the SPLC's long history of labeling conservative groups, Christian organizations, and parental rights advocates as hate groups. Look at this, patriots. Jayapal is treating the SPLC like some holy civil rights organization under attack, while Maya Wiley defends their hate map and smear tactics. This is peak leftist gaslighting. The SPLC has been exposed time and again as a partisan hit squad with a massive bank account that enriches its leadership while destroying the reputations of good Americans. Let's get the facts straight. The Southern Poverty Law Center has for years put mainstream conservative organizations, pro-life groups, immigration enforcement advocates, and even figures like Ayaan Hirsi Ali or Ben Carson on their hate map. They've been successfully sued for defamation. Former insiders have admitted the organization became more about fundraising and political attacks than actual civil rights work. As a right-wing patriot who believes in free speech, equal justice, and protecting American values from leftist intimidation, my opinion is crystal clear.
Now go to the gentlelady from Pennsylvania. I see next? Okay. Then the gentlelady from Washington. I'm looking and seeing you came back, so we're thrilled to have you with us. The gentlelady is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. It is really a rich irony that Republicans want to argue that Donald Trump or this DOJ care about stopping hate, and that's why they're going after the Southern Poverty Law Center. Donald Trump just set up an illegal $1.8 billion slush fund of U.S. taxpayer dollars to pardon convicted insurrectionists who are tied to white supremacists from the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, Nazi supremacists, oh yes, and prohibit any action against his own violations or his family's violations of tax law. You want to argue that Trump's DOJ is trying to stop hate? Give me a break. Trump ran his campaigns and these administrations on stoking fear and racism against communities of color and promoting hate, enacted Muslim bans, kidnapped and disappeared immigrants of all immigration statuses, including U.S. citizens, forced universities to roll back their diversity, equity, inclusion efforts, stripped voting rights from Black and brown voters, disenfranchising women and rural voters with the SAVE Act that he wants to pass. It's all a shameless plan to return America to single-party control by a Republican Party who, unable to win on any sort of policy merits, turns to an old racist playbook that restricts the power of Black, brown, and working-class voters and goes after any political foes just to hold on to power. That's what's happening. For decades, the Southern Poverty Law Center has sued and won jury verdicts against hate groups who conspire and facilitate violence against Black and brown people. The center secured a verdict against the planners of the 2017 Charlottesville rally, the same rally that drew participants whom Donald Trump called very fine people on both sides. And yes, I know what he said after that to try and defend it, but the entire rally was organized by white nationalists. And even after images and videos revealed that these participants put up their arms in Nazi salutes and violently injured counter-protesters and cheered on the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, he stuck by that. SPLC has been winning. That's why Donald Trump wants to target them. That's the problem. Stephen Miller, angry that SPLC called him out back in 2016 for promoting white nationalism and right-wing extremist ideas, has decided to take revenge with an outrageous indictment that is replete with mistakes of fact and law. It is a complete fabrication that any crime has been committed at all. In the words of one former prosecutor, DOJ falls, quote, egregiously short on alleging a crime. So, Ms. Wiley, the indictment and this entire hearing is premised on the theory that SPLC somehow manufactured hate by paying confidential informants. So I want to set the record straight about these informants. Based on what we know from public reporting, did one of the center's informants produce information that successfully prevented a white supremacist group's planned terrorist attacks against a synagogue and gay bar in Las Vegas?
Yes, Atawaffen Division is the name of the extremist group, and I should say that in addition to the work that SPLC did that prevented the violence, in fact, it was in 2019, so it was information it turned on to the Department of Justice during the Trump administration. So the suggestion that somehow SPLC only works with an administration based on the party is undermined by this very important fact. And what the FBI found was that this person had already bought the supplies for the attack on a synagogue and a bar where a lot of LGBTQ people frequented.
Thank you. I'm going to go through a series of these, so just a yes or no would be great. Did another informant produce information that led to the arrest of a neo-Nazi individual who sought a national security clearance in Philadelphia Navy Yard?
Yes.
Did an informant produce information that the center used to tip off the FBI about the 2017 Charlottesville rally?
Yes.
So the center was using informants to root out hate and help the FBI prosecute that hate, not manufacture hate. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I want to ask you, the charges are also premised on the idea that donors were misled and they didn't know what the funds were being used for. But the New York Times publicly reported there's no donor that's come forward, as Mr. Raskin said. Based on your experience, is there anything different about how SPLC is operating than any other nonprofit?
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you, Ms. Wiley. This seems to be a trumped-up case, literally, just to continue to prosecute people who don't agree. I yield back.
The gentlelady yields back.
Mr. Chairman,
We now go to,
is this from the UC request?
of course.
Thank you very much. The first one is The Intercept. We knew they were paying informants, SPLC.
The SPLC is a dangerous, partisan propaganda machine that has weaponized the term hate to silence dissent and get people debanked, doxxed, and canceled. Pramila Jayapal defending them so aggressively shows exactly whose side the radical Democrats are on. They don't want to debate ideas. They want to label their opponents as evil so they can justify destroying them. This is the same crowd that called parents at school board meetings domestic terrorists. The same crowd that cheered when the FBI targeted conservatives while ignoring real threats. Patriots, this hearing moment reveals the left's strategy. Use nonprofit organizations like the SPLC as political weapons while pretending they're neutral watchdogs. The SPLC has billions in assets and pays its top executives massive salaries. They've lost credibility with anyone paying attention, yet Democrats in Congress still treat them as gospel. We need real accountability. The Trump DOJ and IRS should thoroughly investigate these partisan charities that function as political arms of the Democrat Party. Free speech means conservatives have every right to advocate for secure borders, traditional values, and parental rights without being smeared as hate groups. The SPLC's tactics have real victims, people who lost jobs, faced death threats, or had their businesses targeted after appearing on the SPLC hate map. This isn't advocacy. This is domestic political terrorism through bureaucracy and media collusion. Real civil rights work fights actual hate, radical Islamic extremism, anti-Semitism, and violent Marxist groups. The SPLC has often been soft on those while hyper-focused on mainstream conservatives. That's not coincidence. That's political warfare. Patriots, if you're sick of radical Democrats like Pramila Jayapal defending smear organizations like the SPLC while they attack everyday Americans, smash that like button right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss these exposures. Drop your comment below. Should the SPLC be investigated and stripped of its tax-exempt status? Do you agree the hate group label has been weaponized against conservatives? Share this video with every patriot, every free speech advocate, and every American who's been targeted by these leftist smear machines. We stand for real equal justice, free speech for all, secure borders, and protecting American values from radical leftist intimidation. The SPLC and its defenders must be held accountable. God bless America, God bless free speech, and God bless the United States of America. I'll see you in the next video. Stay vigilant, patriots.